Hi, how are you doing? And welcome to my channel. This is, as I promised, one of the first series I'm making about immigration to Canada. So it's a long process. There's a lot of things to digest in this episodes, but I hope I will make it as clear as possible. So let's speak about how to find the immigration website or the government website on the internet. Simple and easy. You can go to any Google browser, any browser you would like, and search for CIC. Okay, the three words. It will lead you to the Canada website. It must be the first one, the Immigration and Citizenship of Canada. So if you scroll down, there's a lot of information. My application, visit, blah blah blah. We will start with this section, which is immigrate, because we're speaking about immigration. We'll talk about visit, study, work later on, and the citizenship by the end. But let's do the immigrate process. Okay, there are several programs to immigrate to Canada. These are the most famous ones. Again, this is August 2023, so this could change by the time you watching this episode. But again, not major changes. Sometimes some programs, they, as they call it, pilot here, pilot, they are uh, temporary, but they could stay for longer. They could extend them. Okay. So let's speak about the first and the most important one, which is the express entry. Express entry is the most common way that people immigrate to Canada through. So this is a simple explanation of what is the express entry. As you say here, you can read a lot, but there are three streams in the express entry. The most famous ones are these ones, the three of them: Canadian Experience Class, Federal Skilled Worker Programs, and the last one is the Federal Skilled Trade Programs. There's a nomination through express entry, which we will not talk about now, later on. But these are the three important streams about the express entry. For the first one, the Canadian Express class, for whom? For skilled workers who have Canadian work experience. It means that you've been in Canada and you work for a year or two, and you think that you can apply for this Canadian experience. As you said here, work experience must have been gained in the last 3 years before you apply. So you can't apply for these programs if you worked 10 years ago in Canada for 2 years. It doesn't work. So you have to have this Canadian experience within the last 3 years. There's a lot about it. We will talk later, but let's go to the second one, which is the Federal Skilled Workers Program, which is the most common one for skilled workers who are foreign work experience. This is a Canadian work experience. This is that means you had a work experience in your country for 5 6 years. You can apply through this program. So there is criteria about education and other factors. We'll talk about them soon. Then the federal skilled trade programs. This is for specifically for trades who are needed in Canada. So these are worker qualify in the skilled trade and must have a valid job offer or a certificate of qualification from Canadian employer. So we'll talk about this later. And just to let you know that most of the people who come from other countries, they come from through this federal skilled workers programs, and the other ones who study or work in Canada, they go through the Canadian experience class. The other one is for the one who have a job of valid job offers. So this is the most important ones, if I'm eligible to apply or not. There are very many programs and websites where they can tell you if you are qualified or not, but this is the most eligible or legitimate one that can show you the right path of, for this express entry. So you have to answer several questions. I'm going through the website with you, These questions will about nationality, age, language ability, which is very important. Very important. There's almost no immigration to Canada without language test. So you have to have always your language test ready. I will speak about that later on. Family members, your wife, children, education, work experience, detail of any job offer. Let's check your eligibility. So the first question is, if you don't know yet, okay, so which province or territory do you want to live in? Let's choose anyone, which most of the time Ontario. This is the biggest province by population, and a lot of people live in this. Quebec is the second by population, so you can choose any. I will choose Ontario for now. Then this is about the Canadian official languages, which are French or English. So you have to have a test in one of them. So it's asking you if you ever had an IELTS, CELPIP, which is another test in English, then TEF, it's a French test, and TCF, which is a French test too. So let's speak about IELTS, which is the most common maybe exam. You need a general, not an academic. Academic for education, okay, if you want to study. So when did you have your test? The test need to be is valid for only 2 years. So if you have your test, for example, 2021, before August, it will be invalid. So let's say a valid one in April this year, whatever date. So this is within the 2 years, so I'm good. So here's asking about the test score. Again, as you know, it's out of 9. Usually you need 7 and above to have it's working. So let's do it together as 7s, which is not difficult, but not easy. Okay. So have you have another language like a French one? Let's say no. Okay. It doesn't matter if you are native speaker, if it's you studied in, you need a language test. So don't lie to yourself in this and put the exact number or the number you think you can achieve in this test. This test is not easy, as I said, and not difficult. It's a language requirement for the immigration, so you have to make it somehow. Okay. So here is, sorry, you have not completed mandatory field. Which one? Okay. So, okay, none other test. Sorry, I do not have another test. So in the last 3 years, how many years of skilled worker experience do you have in Canada? Can you see in Canada? Okay, let's say I'm not in Canada and would like to come. None. So if you do not have any Canadian work experience during this period, please choose none of the above. So none of the above, okay? If you had working experience, it will be another program. So in the last 10 years, as you see here, in the last 10 years, how many skilled worker experience do you have in your field? So it's supposed to be paid, so not volunteer, and it's supposed to be full time. So let's say 6 years of experience or more, which is the highest. So if you are not sure of what is NOC, which is National Occupation Classification for your job, you can find it here. Let's go and find our classification. Let's see, this guy is, so here are the tiers. I don't want to get into this very in details because it's a little bit confusing, but there are 6 tiers. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 6, all of them. Most of them are very, like 0 is the management, and the other one is needing a degree. So they are, but here it is about the classification. Let's say we're looking about engineer, for example, in sorry, what? Engineer. managers. Okay, so as you see, engineers, managers. So this is the knock. I can have this knock. Okay, so let me just show you what's happening on my screen, as I think you are not. So this is what, find your knock. Okay, here we go. I think yes. So as you see here, we have 6 tiers: 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they all different according to the duties. This is a classification you will need to read about. It's not very important now, but if we want to go to the knock and we go to engineer, so we have engineering manager, software engineer. Let's speak about software engineer. I copy this NOC, which is National Occupation Classification Code. This is the code for this job, and I put it back here. As you see, oh, sorry, it doesn't need the NOC here, but it needs how many years in the NOC? So 2 or more, 3 years. Okay. As we said, it's more than 6 years. It's now loading. Loading. Sorry, strange, maybe because we see it's loading here. Usually it's faster, but we'll see. So okay, so here, do you have a certificate or qualification from a Canadian province or territory in your skill trade? So that means, did you study in Canada, or you have a certification, for example, a license to work here? Most of the people do not. How much in Canadian dollars will you bring with you? So these numbers, you have to understand that they depend on your family members. So let's say between 28 and 32. Okay, so here's how many family members. That's say 4, 2 adults and 2 young. That's including the father and mother, everybody. Okay, you have a valid job offer. Most of the people don't. So, but no. So, what is your date of birth? This is very important to see your age. So, let's say 2000 and or 1988. Oh, let's say 1990. Okay, whatever month. So for sure you have to answer it according to yourself. What is the highest level of education? So as you see here, we have high school, okay? We have secondary school, which high school graduation. We have 1 year after high school in trade or college, 2 years in college or university. We have a bachelor degree or 3 years or more in college or university or technical schools. So master and doctoral. Let's choose bachelor. Okay, let's choose this. So, pick all of them. I have studied full time in Canada for 2 years or more. You see, this will give you points, but you did not. Okay, I have at least 1 year of full time experience in Canada. I do not. I have relatives who is 18 years of old and permanent residents, or and is my parents, child, grandchildren, celibate, like brothers, sisters, and uncles, niece. We don't have any. None of the above. So answer as honest as you can. Find out if you're eligible. So are you married? Yes, I'm married. Most of the people will say 4 people. So does your spouse or partner plan to come with you? Yes, we are doing a family. Uh, is your spouse or partner citizen or permanent of Canada? No, they are same as you. Has your spouse studied full-time in Canada? No. Did she work in Canada or your spouse work in Canada? No. Okay. Has your spouse or partner taken English or French test? Let's say IELTS. We both had IELTS. Okay, which date? Let's say 2022, whatever. Okay, the real date. So what are the, let's say she got 5.5, 5.5, 5.5, and in the other one, 4 or 5, whatever. Okay, so your results here are, this is a code. You need this code because according to this code, it gives you point, reference point. So you have to go through these steps. They will show you the steps, okay? So the first step is to, so to be able to apply online, you need this code. Based on your answer, you appear to be eligible. So you are eligible for the Express Entry, okay? It doesn't mean that they will choose you. I will spoke about the how they choose or how they withdraw these names from the Express Entry pool later on. So this is the records of will expire in October. So you have to apply before that time or do the same assessment again. Print this page, so you need it this information to apply. Basically, you need this number, this code. Then you have to register and get the key. We'll speak about this later on. Then you log into your account, and then when you sign, you do your all things. We will do a fake one, and we'll start it. And then you have to this is how you apply. Then you have to submit your application, then wait for your Express Entry to be submitted. So basically, this is the way you find if you are eligible or not to apply for the to the Express Entry. This is a long video, but believe me, I will guide you step by step in the next videos on how you go through the Express Entry. Let's see you in the next video, and have a nice and a wonderful